Yo, what's good? We back. Triple P, Paul Pickett podcast. We got a lot to get into. While I'm sipping my woke Coca-Cola, hit that subscribe button in that right-hand corner. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, hit that follow. Don't forget my audio version of my podcast goes to Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, Odyssey, Castbox, Deezer, iHeart, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Stitcher, and TuneIn. All right, we got a lot of NBA to get into. Uh, Chris Paul agrees to 4-year deal with the Suns. I mean, that just basically ensures that the Suns get into the playoffs for the next 3 to 4 years. Lowry announces deal with the Heat, which is a sign and trade. That we're gonna definitely get back to that because Miami Heat made a lot of good moves. Lonzo Ball headed to the Bulls in a sign and trade deal. He got 4 years, $85 million. Butler got a max extension. Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington all go back to the Lakers. He extend Duncan Robinson 5 year, $90 million. Powell agrees to 5 year deal with the Blazers. Dinwiddie nearing deal with the Wizards. Fournier and Rose agreed to deals with the Knicks, so Boston let Evan Fournier go. They traded him for what last year? I don't know. But he's going to be a New York Knickerbocker for the next 4 years. Porter's returning the Bucks on 2 year deal. Cavaliers agreed a 5 year extension with Jared Allen. That's who I wanted the Charlotte Hornets to pick up, but they didn't. Spurs agreed to deal with McDermott. Not really sure why they did that. Kings and Holmes agreed to deal. Raptors agreed to deal with Trent Jr. Graham going to Pelicans and sign and trade. Devontae Graham was basically the odd man out. You know, you got LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier over there at Charlotte, and then they just drafted a point guard in the first round. Suns agreed to deal with Cameron Payne. Bulls agreed to 4 year deal with Caruso. So Caruso left the Lakers and going to the Bulls. That's another good pickup. So far, they got Lonzo, Caruso, and they also picked up DeRozan, which is on the next one. Mavericks re-signed Hardaway Jr. and Boban. Spurs signed Collins to a 3 year deal. Now, if he can stay healthy, I think that's a good look for the Spurs. He's the kind of player that the Spurs, usually need. Griffin agrees to deal with Nets. Rockets re-signed Nwaba. Diaz agrees to sign and trade with Rockets. Knicks re-signed Burks and Noel. Nuggets agreed to 1 year deal with Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers balled out for the Nuggets soon as he got there last year. The Knicks, I don't know why the Knicks let him go because they could have used him playoff time. And the Knicks also lost Reggie Bullock. He went to the Mavs for 3 years. That's good because Luka has another shooter that he can pass to. They could probably put Bullock at small forward and Tim Hardaway Jr. at 2 guard. Pistons agreed to 3 year deal with Olynyk. McConnell agrees to deal with Pacers. McGee agrees to deal with Suns. And I wish the Hornets would have went after McGee. They let all these big men sign with all these other teams. Who else we got? Harkless and Kings agreed to deal. Bazemore signs with Lakers. Tucker agrees to deal with Heat. Tyler Zeller went to the Trailblazers. I've been said the Charlotte Hornets need to get rid of him. Batum stays with the Clippers. Lynn agrees to deal with Kings. Some of these ain't really noteworthy. Porter Jr. agrees to deal with Warriors. Guessing that's Kevin Porter Jr. Actually, got to look that one up. Definitely got to look that one up. But yeah, that's like most of the free agent signings in the first 24 hours. I mean, it were crazy signings. And hold on, let me look up this Porter Jr. and the Wizards real quick. Or Warriors, I meant. Porter Jr. Warriors. So, oh, it's Otto Porter Jr. Warriors got Otto Porter Jr. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a decent pickup for veterans minimal. Otto Porter Jr. with them. The Warriors didn't make a lot of big moves. They really didn't. You know, seeing if there's anything else in here that's worthy. Muscala agreed to a deal with the Thunder. Mike Muscala. Craig signs a 2-year deal with Pacers. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much that. You know, and then you know, you got all these ones that happened in the last 24 hours. Carmelo Anthony is headed to LA to become a Laker. Um, LeBron has almost played on the team with all his banana boat buddies except Chris Paul and whatnot. Carmelo could finally get his ring. We'll see. Curry reportedly historic extension. First player to get $200 million contracts. I think he got like 215 or something like that. DeRozan confirms he's leaving the Suns. So DeRozan went to the Bulls. The Bulls picked up DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Alex Caruso. If they don't make the playoffs next year, something's wrong. I mean, because they got coming off the bench, they got Kobe White who could put up some points. So they should have a real good starting five with DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Zach LaVine. I don't know what they're going to do with Laurie Marketing yet. They got Patrick Williams will probably be starting. So we got Drummond reportedly headed to the Sixers. I was a little upset that the Hornets didn't go after Drummond, like at least for a 2-year deal or something like that, because we needed a solid big man, especially a guy who could put up 20 and 10 or 15 and 10 every single night. So I was definitely upset with that. What else we got? Dragic went to the Raptors in that sign and trade with Lowry. So Raptors got Dragic, and they're pretty much on a rebuild. I don't know what their plans really are, what direction they're going, because they still got Siakam and Fred VanVleet, and Dragic is a good addition, a damn good addition, but they need to work with a big man. Whiteside set to join the Jazz, so the Jazz signed Whiteside, and I mean that's a good backup center. That's a good backup center. They got 2 7-footers now. What else we got here? Hill returning to Bucks. So I'm guessing that the Bucks cut Hill only to resign him. Markieff Morris reportedly joining the Heat. So the Heat got Markieff Morris, Kyle Lowry. They re-signed Jimmy Butler, and they re-signed Duncan Robinson, and they added PJ Tucker. They got PJ Tucker. So the Heat, and the Bulls and the Lakers have made the most moves so far. The Heat added PJ Tucker, for defense. They added Kyle Lowry for that point guard position, and they added Markieff Morris, a 3-and-D. So they added 2 3-and-D guys and Kyle Lowry. We got Smith headed to Hornets, and that's Ish Smith. Lakers agreed to deal with Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn is going to be the backup point guard to Russell Westbrook, and he'll be a good backup, real good backup, because he started 44 games for the Heat, who were a playoff team. Rodney Hood agrees to deal with Bucks, so the Bucks just add another bit scorer. A guy could put up good 10, 15 on a night. Malik Monk. This is another thing. Malik Monk signed with the Lakers, and he signed with like a veteran minimum, which I'm really shocked at. Like the fact that the Hornets couldn't pay him more than that. or didn't offer more than that, or other teams didn't. Just goes to show that this cat wants to win. He wants to win. He don't want to be on a losing team. Robin Lopez reportedly reaches deal with a Magic. Whoopie doo. Nets agree to deal with James Johnson. James Johnson is the kind of dude every player should want on an NBA team because he can. James Johnson can beat up anybody in the NBA 1-on-1. He's the kind of dude you would need on your team. And the Nets also got Patty Mills, so Patty Mills is a good pickup for them. Patty Mills on a 2-year deal, backing up Kyrie. Like if Kyrie gets hurt and you got Patty Mills, man, the Nets is still a championship team if they got Patty Mills, James Harden, Kevin Durant, um, Joe Harris, and who did I say they just picked up? They got Brown on a 1-year deal, and they just got James Johnson. What else? We got Tony Snell, Portly agrees to deal with Blazers. Uh, oh yeah, my bad. Hill parted way with the Sixers, and he returned back to the Bucks. So he'll be a backup point guard on the Bucks. Decker reportedly agrees to a deal with the Raptors. Yeah, man. So far, like the Lakers, I mean, they got Westbrook, Carmelo, Kendrick Nunn. They got Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Bazemore, whoopie doo. They got Wayne Ellington, a good 3-point shooter. Taylor Horton Tucker re-signed too on a 3-year deal. He's gonna get more money than he's ever made. Oh my bad, Rudy Gay signed with the Jazz. And that helps the Jazz. Good veteran presence coming off the bench. So the Jazz, they got Rudy Gay, and they got Whiteside as a back. They got two backups, veteran backups. And, then you got moves that are going to happen today pretty much, I mean, you got moves of day 3. What do we got going on? Reports Kemba Walker finalizing out buyout with the Thunder. I mean, who knows what team's going to want Kemba Walker? I mean, Kemba Walker. Who could use Kemba Walker right now? Who could use Kemba Walker as a backup? I don't know, man. Maybe somebody like Dallas or I don't. And does Kemba Walker want to be a backup? That's the thing. Does Kemba Walker want to be a backup? Okay. Hawks Collins reportedly agreed to deal. Okay, John Collins and the Hawks agreed to a deal. So he's staying put. And I said, man, like Atlanta better not let John Collins go. I mean, John Collins was a poster in the playoffs. Every playoff series, he was creating posters, man. He was posterizing everybody, man. I mean, he's a human highlight reel waiting to happen. Okay. So Kemba Walker, look out for Kemba Walker to sign with the Knicks. Look out for Kemba Walker to sign with the Knicks. According to reports from Adrian Wojnarowski, Kemba Walker buyout from Oklahoma City. Look for him. That makes sense. Kemba to the Knicks. Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker, two old hurt veterans. And Kemba doesn't get hurt, man. I mean, he probably would have panned out at Boston. Okay, John Collins signs a 5-year, $125 million deal, and we know my boy Ice Trade just got the extension for like 5 years, 207. Brian Forbes agrees to deal with the Spurs. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the deals right now, man. I mean, there'll probably be some more deals later today, which those will probably be on the next podcast. But yeah, there's been a lot of free agent moves. A lot of free agent moves, man. Yeah, Warriors. A healthy Warriors next year is going to be interesting. Healthy Warriors. Jazz. If Jazz can stay fully healthy, I honestly think they need to figure something out about Rudy Gobert though when it comes playoff time because he's a liability and whatnot. Bulls. I'm highly impressed with the moves the Bulls made. Lonzo Ball could actually run a team like he wants to. Now you got DeRozan and you got Zach LaVine. That should get you into the playoffs with Laurie Marketing and Patrick Williams and whatever else they got. Kobe White. That should get you into the playoffs. Definitely. Yeah, and still be on the lookout for what happens to Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder still hasn't found a suitor and a buyer for him. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. Dennis Schroeder should still be getting traded. And no telling what team he's going to go to. I don't know what team really wants Dennis Schroeder right now. Orlando Magic. What if? Oh man, no. I wonder if the Sixers would want Dennis Schroeder. Like, let's think about this real quick. Lakers still got to get rid of Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is not coming back. And I know he's an unrestricted free agent, but they're probably going to get a sign and trade. Because apparently they don't got a lot of suitors for him. So I'm thinking, like, let's look at some of these teams. Hold up. Let's look at, like, Sixers need to get rid of, they definitely need to get rid of Ben Simmons. Like, I'm still waiting on Ben Simmons to get traded. I'm still waiting. You know what? Dennis Schroeder to Boston seems like a smart play. Dennis Schroeder to Boston, man. Boston, the Sixers. Maybe Dennis Schroeder to the Raptors. Uh, let's see. Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder to the Magic, maybe. Maybe Dennis Schroeder to the Wizards. I mean, they're trying to finalize out a deal with Spencer Dinwiddie, but I don't know how that's going to go. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Lakers and the Nets and the Wizards could do a 3-team where Dennis Schroeder goes to the Nets. I don't know, man. I mean, he could play backup two guard, maybe point guard. Dennis Schroeder to the T Wolves, man. Oh man, I can see why Dennis Schroeder's having a problem finding a spot. I mean, the only team that I can see that might need Dennis Schroeder is like the Pelicans, maybe the Spurs, the Rockets. Pelicans, Spurs, Rockets in the West. Um, Maybe the Magic in the East. Maybe the Magic, the Sixers, or Boston. Yeah. There's only like 6 teams, man, Dennis Schroeder can pretty much go to, man. So that's why it's not really easy. Because you only got, I'm really thinking the deal's going to be with like San Antonio or New Orleans or something. I mean, the Lakers have dealt with New Orleans before, but who knows? David Griffin might not want to do deal with the Lakers since LeBron is there. I mean, but there's not too many places I see Dennis Schroeder going. There's just not too many places, man. Maybe we could trade him back to the Clippers for Rondo. Get Rondo as a backup and something else for Rondo. Trade him to the Clippers for Rondo and something else. I don't know. Maybe the Clippers. Dennis Schroeder to the Clippers. That makes sense. Over Patrick Beverly, Dennis Schroeder to the Clippers makes sense. But are the Clippers willing? They're gonna want to trade with LA. I don't know. I don't know that that's gonna happen. So yeah. So watch out for Ben Simmons still get traded. Watch out for Clippers. Also, don't forget to hit that click now subscribe button. Sipping my woke Coca-Cola. Don't forget the video version goes to my Instagram TV and my Facebook. If you watch the podcast on those platforms, hit the follow. Don't forget the audio version goes to Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, Odyssey, Castbox, Deezer, iHeart, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Stitcher, and tune in. Also, check out my websites, promopalace.biz for online and marketing promotions for your music or your brand. Also, don't forget to check out newlitter.com for New Litter Apparel. Just updated the website. We got a new print provider. And actually, I'm going to get on today and, excuse me about the burp, order some designs for cat lovers. We're going to start including the cats into New Litter Apparel. Cat lovers and dog lovers, because cats have dogs. Cats have litters and dogs have litters. So newlitter.com, we got the cats and the dogs. We got hats, t-shirts, hoodies. We got bandanas for your dogs as well. So we're going to actually have more stuff for the dogs themselves. And we got apparel for dog lovers and cat lovers coming soon. Don't forget to check out for Shizzle, one of my favorite brands, Dizzle. Dizzlebrand.com. Let me stand up, show you the Dizzle. You see it. Dizzlebrand.com. Check them out. Mixture of cognac, agave tequila, orange liquor, mango mix, and crisp lemon. Dizzlebrand.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They got recipes on there. Check out the recipes. Look for the Dizzle brand to be coming soon to an ABC store or a club or a bar near you. So, once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We're on episode 42, Paul Pickett Podcast, otherwise known as Triple P. I'm your host, Paul Pickett, where I bring you nothing but sports, music, and politics as well. So be on the lookout for some music topics and some political topics coming soon to this podcast. Peace, and I'm out.